Welcome back to the Makeshift Project podcast number 13. And we have a special guest. Ronnie Kush is here. Welcome, Ronnie Kush.
Thank you, boys. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. Looking forward to it.
You're probably in good spirits right now because the Brooklyn Nets suck and the Celtics are the best team in the league, apparently.
I think we're the best team in the East. I don't know about league. We still got Phoenix and Golden State over in the West, but East, I think we're definitely the best team in the East.
I just have to go out and say this so everybody understands who Ron is to us. Ron is one of my favorite, but also least favorite people out there. He's a really close friend. I hate his sports takes. I hate most of the stuff he says about sports, but we're excited to do the podcast for that reason because there's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of arguments today. You're not going to want to miss it.
Yes. And I wanted to start off the podcast by literally just talking about how the Nets are terrible. I'm a Nets fan, and I'm saying that the Nets played horribly. And Ron is a Celtics fan, so this is a great coming out party for Ron's celebration.
Yes, it is. This is great. 4-0 sweep. Brooklyn can go to Cancun with the Knicks. Have a little get together.
If I'm a diehard Nets fan, but if I had to put my money on any team to win the entire thing, it would be the Celtics right now.
I
feel like you don't want to say that just to not jinx your team, but seeing how they played defense don't get me wrong. The Nets did not play well, even without that defense, but the defense stopped our entire team. KD couldn't score. Kyrie couldn't score. Nobody could score. That's just my take.
Definitely when we talk about team defense, definitely the best team defense in the league. Marcus Smart's probably been one of the best defenders in the league for years, finally got recognition. Rudy Gobert has been overrated for the past couple of years, so I'm happy that he didn't win. I would have been okay with Mikal Bridges. I think he's another great defender, on-ball defender, perimeter defender. But you look at the Boston's defense, Grant Williams is great. He's young. Al Horford came out of nowhere. He's looking like a 29, 30-year-old Al Horford. And you got, Time Lord, Robert Williams, who could be a top 5 defensive player in the league too. Him and Marcus Smart are shut down together. So I definitely am confident with the team. Tatum's starting to play a little bit more defense. Jaylen Brown, when he wants to, he's a freak athlete. So if he really wanted to turn it on defensively, he can. So that's what I'm seeing from them. Just great all-around team defense. Derek White, probably the most underrated deadline
Overrated.
Move. Underrated.
I just
underrated.
Hate it. I don't
underrated.
Like anyone on that Celtics
underrated. And listen, I don't blame you because, everyone has their opinion. But, I think Derek White move was huge. Got rid of Schroeder. They brought back Tyson from the Rockets, who's another great well. Tyson is very good. I think he's very underrated. He's a good role player. He knows his role. He doesn't try to do too much. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have Milwaukee next round, it's looking like. So it's going to be a tough series. You got Giannis, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, sick athlete. Just, it's going to be a good matchup.
Ron,
and
I want to ask you a
see
question.
If Middleton comes back. Zach, let's hear it.
All right. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are a pretty good duo. Where do you rank them in terms of duos in the league? And maybe you could give some examples if you have them on who would rank them better than. I'll drop in a few if you need help.
Wow. Duos in the league. If we're talking a certain age, like they always, categorize as age, they're probably the best. Jaylen Brown's 25.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's 25. Yeah, he's 25.
So, if we're going best duo under the age of 25, I definitely would have to go them two. Tatum's 24, Brown's 25. Definitely the
19.
best.
Is he not 19? That's the ongoing joke is that he'll forever be 19. Can't believe he's only 19.
Everyone ages, that's Boston fans for you. A lot of them are like that. But no, I think best young duo, I definitely pick them. You still got when Clay's healthy and Steph, I still think they're a dominant duo in the West. CP and D-Book in the West is still a crazy dominant duo.
What about Middleton and Giannis?
Middleton and Giannis is probably the best. If I had to pick a duo in the league right now that I would take over Jaylen and Tatum, it's definitely Giannis and Middleton. I think they complement each other perfectly.
One. I think that's the most top heavy.
Complimenting each other, like Middleton has proved me wrong. I always thought he was a little bit overrated. I didn't think he deserved all the All-Star nominations that he had, but he made me eat my words last year, and I think him and Giannis complement each other perfectly. But you also have Drew Holiday on that team. He's that.
Fair.
What about Kyrie and KD? Where do they rank, Ron?
If they play the whole season together, or is it? I mean, next year they're going to be playing together. So, and I think that was another disadvantage for the Nets. If Kyrie is able to play every home game this year, they don't have a 7th seed, and they don't have to see Boston first round. So you don't know. They'd probably still be playing right now. But you also got to go to the West with LeBron and Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis can find his form again and be a top 5 player in the league like he was 2 years ago, I mean, they're definitely a top 5 duo in the league. I mean, LeBron's, 37, averaged 30 points a game this year? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, but where's
crazy.
he right now? He's at home.
What, LeBron
watching the playoffs.
With the Knicks.
With the Knicks
and the Nets.
All right. I have another question for you, Ron.
All right,
would you rather have your team, the context out of it because it's a Knicks question. Would you rather finish 11th in the East and miss the play-in games, or would you rather make the playoffs and get swept in the first round?
It's crazy you asked that because me and my brother's friends were talking about it the other day. I personally rather miss the playoffs than make the playoffs and get swept.
Well, if you make the playoffs, you don't know you're going to get swept. I think I'd rather make the playoffs because I like watching playoff basketball. Like, I still enjoyed watching those games. I still got up off the chair when like KD and Kyrie made these big time shots. It was still extremely entertaining to watch. It didn't turn out in a great fashion for me, but I had fun watching them. I think if you know the outcome of the first round, then obviously what's the point of going? But that's with anything.
Well, that's the debate. It's
no one knew Brooklyn was going to get swept. No one knew
exactly.
Brooklyn. I personally thought that. I mean, I'm a Celtics fan. I'm gonna say this. I thought Brooklyn was gonna just turn it on. Like, playoff came around, just turn it on. I mean, you saw Kyrie game 1. I mean, Kyrie was unstoppable game 1. Like, you weren't defending that. If KD has a better game 1, they'd still be playing. There's a lot of missed opportunities that they had. KD didn't look like himself, and I think that's credit to the Boston's defense. Everything they were throwing at him. And
but they
Kyrie
did get swept. They did get swept though.
Yes, they did get swept.
So in retrospect, when you're looking back and you're looking now and you're looking after, I understand you're not going to understand the result up front. And, like, of course you would choose to make the playoffs. But looking back at the season, I'm happier as a Knicks fan right now than I'm as a Nets fan in terms of where we finished the season because of the draft pick next year. I get that the Nets probably don't need a draft pick.
I'm happier with the Nets position than the Knicks position right now by far.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you're looking at rosters, obviously the Nets have the better roster. Knicks have a lot of questions what they're going to do with Randall, because I don't know what happened to Julius Randle. He got paid and decided to go back to
he's going to have a bounce back year.
Janitor. No, I don't think.
Ron, my answer to everything is literally just they're going to next year.
That's the Mets. That's the Knicks and Mets mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knicks have the better pick. Nets obviously have the better roster. If Ben Simmons decides to not be a mental head case, which we'll all find out next year.
I was going to say, who won that trade? Because a lot of people were talking. They were excited.
I don't think
in play. So,
I mean, even James Harden, he's kind of been sucking too. Like, he's not playing up to the standards. And we got Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. Seth Curry was our leading scorer on Sunday night or whatever.
I love Seth Curry, but I mean, has Harden really been that bad? I don't know the numbers.
Yes, Harden has been that bad. Harden has been.
Yeah.
No one won that trade yet.
He's been a role player. He's been a role player. He's been a point guard. He hasn't been anything.
Maxi's been the number 2 guy.
He's their second best player right now.
Yeah, I mean, Harden. I don't think anyone really won the trade yet. I mean, give it 2-3 years if the rosters stay the same. Whoever wins a championship first really wins that trade.
I mean, I guess the Sixers won the trade as of now because they're still in the playoffs. The Nets aren't, but
yeah, but the Sixers also have the best player in the league right now in Joel Embiid.
Yeah, this is true. All right, last thing on the NBA.
I don't think he's the best player in the league, but okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best player in the league either.
Yeah, I think
Joel Embiid is. Joel Embiid is the most extreme overrated center in the league. Half of his points come from free throws. He's the big man that is James Harden.
I mean, what do you want? He gets fouled. He's a big guy.
No.
I mean, he's the most. Yes.
He gets every call.
Yes. This year, he's the best player in the league.
False.
Yes. Why? I mean, I think Jokic is going to get MVP if we're being realistic.
So then he's the best player.
No, but I don't think.
By fan vote.
Yeah, by fan vote. Yeah.
By fan vote. I mean, I don't think if we're going to get into the MVP conversation, Giannis balled again. I mean, I would, he would deserve D Book. I don't know how D Book doesn't get any MVP consideration.
Consideration,
Same thing with
but
Chris.
not, he shouldn't win it, but consideration, sure.
I mean, the best record in the league again. Like, I mean, he's got to get some type of credit. I mean, Chris Paul also should get credit. He's never been in the MVP conversation. Every team he's on is successful.
Yeah.
And, you know, throw in Jason Tatum because they came out of nowhere. So I think Tatum definitely deserves.
I agree. I think it's interesting that the top three, I brought this up at work the other day. The top three MVP candidates are all not from the US, which is showing how the NBA is just completely changing and it's becoming a whole worldwide sport. Last NBA question. Who do you think is going to win the entire thing? Don't be biased. Don't just say Celtics right off the bat.
No. I think Phoenix, if Phoenix can make it past this round, and
Jose
Devin Booker comes
Alvarado.
back, still Chris Paul. No, I think this is Phoenix this year. I think if Devin Booker can come back in the next round, be healthy, look like old Devin Booker. And, you know, Devin Booker being out is giving all these other role players time to get into a groove now, pick up more minutes, get into a little rhythm. Because when Devin Booker comes back, they're not playing as much, but they already have that rhythm going for them. So I definitely think Phoenix. I think it'll be a Phoenix, Boston, or Milwaukee. I think whoever comes out that Milwaukee-Boston series is going to make it to the finals.
I agree. I got Boston winning it all. That's my pick. That's my pick.
I hope.
We'll come back to this when the finals are over. Zach, who's your pick?
I've been saying the Suns since the beginning. I'm rooting for the Warriors though.
Okay, that's very fair.
I always like making a two-pronged pick there because it's like who I want to win. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like I wanted the Packers. I was rooting for the Packers, but realistically, I usually pick someone else. So, rooting for the Warriors. I think if they're healthy, Jordan Poole just out of nowhere. Also, like what an animal, what a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
The death lineup they put on the floor when they have him,
Steph,
Clay, Draymond,
it's gross.
And Wiggins is like, it reminds me back of, what was it, 2014-15 when they're playing like Harrison Barnes at center, but like it's better in my opinion. Like,
oh yeah, Harrison Barnes is obviously, Harrison Barnes. Shout out Jordan Poole. Should have been most improved player. I will say that.
Yeah, I don't get how he doesn't win that award.
I don't understand how he's not a finalist.
I mean, I think it's rightfully so. Like let's look at Jordan Poole's stats right now. He averaged 18 points a game. Okay.
He didn't start for the half the year.
I know. You can't win most improved player if you don't play half the year. You can't win MVP if you don't play half the year.
I mean, he played the whole year, but he started in place of Steph and was dropping like 30 a game.
I know, but you look at the comparison between him and John Morant, the stats are ridiculous. Jordan Poole went from 12 points to 18.5 this season, and Ja's at 27. He went from 19 to 27. John Morant has one of the best stat lines in the entire league, and Jordan Poole, I know he's balling out right now, but Jordan Poole is still averaging 18 points a game from 12 points a game last year. It's a good increase, but it's not the best increase in the league. In my opinion.
In terms of impact on a team, I mean, the Grizzlies are good without Ja. I don't know, Jordan Poole.
No, they are not. No, they are not.
Even Desmond Bain. Desmond Bain. What about him? He's not getting talked about.
I agree, but. And the Grizzlies, I don't think, are the number 2 seed in the West.
Not the 2
without
seed,
Ja.
but their record was ridiculous without Ja, wasn't it? Am I wrong?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Yes, they were. Ja, look at the Grizzlies record without Ja.
The Grizzlies were the 5th worst title odds chances, and now they jumped up to the like 5th best just because Ja this season.
Yeah, but they were still winning without Ja.
Yeah, but I'm saying
they were the 2nd seed.
I mean, maybe they
Ja barely played
3 or 4 seed, but
how many games did Ja miss this year? Ja missed what, almost 20 plus games roughly?
Yeah, and they went like 20-2 in the games he didn't play in. I'm pretty sure.
Well coached team, very well coached team.
I'm gonna do
just
some
saying.
Googling.
I'm just saying. Ja Morant last season, 19 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. This year, 27 points a game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists.
It's so fair, but like when you're looking at overall, like the player improvement, sure, like numbers tell you one story, but I look at Julius Randle, who won it the year before and went from basically not a role player on a team, but like a good player to basically leading New York to the playoffs. Like I'm not saying Jordan Poole led the Warriors to the playoffs, but taking place of Steph Curry and matching basically the impact that he has for that team. from going from a bench player or like a 6-man the year before that. Like to me, it's not comparable. He's got to at least be in the conversation.
But I don't think we would even have this conversation if this playoff series happened. And all these awards are regular season awards. They're not playoff awards.
No, I agree.
But it's not.
But you also got to look at the other
playoffs.
two guys, Darius Garland.
Yeah,
Great
Darius
year.
Garland is way ahead of Jordan Poole, in my opinion.
DeJounte Murray averaged what,
Him
29
as well.
and 8? Like that,
Him as well.
29 and 8, 2 steals. I mean, definitely should be in that.
I agree.
Could have won it too.
I agree. I think the NBA is in fantastic hands with all these players.
I did some research real quick. Just the Memphis Grizzlies as of March 25th. That's the earliest article I can find, or latest. We're 16-2 without Ja Morant.
Very good team.
And the Warriors were the best team in the West, with or without Jordan Poole.
I guess I'm just comparatively looking. I don't know. It's like to put up those numbers and come back. At least put them in the conversation, man.
No way. Not with Garland, DeJounte Murray, and Ja Morant. If this playoff run didn't happen, nobody would even be talking about that. But it's a regular season award. That's what I'm getting at.
It is.
Yeah,
but I'm not even
Nothing's
talking
a playoff
about
award.
I'm not just talking about like Jordan Poole in the playoffs.
I know, but that's the reason why this conversation is coming up everywhere, because he's literally been balling out in the playoffs.
I don't know. I think there was a lot of talk before too. But
Fair enough.
Agree to disagree.
Fair enough. Did anybody watch the Tyson Fury boxing match? I didn't even watch it. I don't think anyone watched it.
I didn't watch it.
But do you know? I'm assuming you didn't watch it either, Zach.
No.
But he is the heavyweight champion of the world, and I feel like this is worth talking about, and I feel like we need to respect this because Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, the heavyweight champion of the UFC, met after the fight, and they're going to do a boxing UFC mixed match. So they're basically planning on doing in the boxing ring with basically boxing rules with MMA gloves, them versing each other.
What?
I know, it's crazy.
How is that going to – I'm curious how that's going to work. I'm curious how like the rules are going to be set and everything. That's interesting.
Nothing's been confirmed, but they talked literally after his post-fight interview outside of the ring. The guy, Francis Ngannou, the UFC heavyweight champion, came up to him. He called him over, and they said, we got to do this. We got to do UFC gloves in a boxing ring.
Tyson retired after that fight, right? That was his last fight.
That's what he said before, and then this whole thing sparked up, which is crazy.
I mean, it's going to be like an exhibition, right? It's not going to be
probably.
Yeah, it's going to be like a Floyd, McGregor exhibition. All about the money type deal.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to make bank off it.
Oh yeah,
100%.
For sure.
I would do it too if it was that much money.
Ron, would you box Jake Paul?
How much am I getting?
You're getting $1 million.
$1 million, he says yes. Anyone says yes to that.
Yeah, anyone.
I mean, yeah, yes. I would definitely do it for
what
$1
about
million,
for like 10 grand?
Yeah.
No. To get my ass kicked for 10 grand is not worth it.
Do you think you have any chance?
Yeah, you don't have any confidence.
Absolutely. He's a trained boxer.
Well, give yourself a year.
Boxer. Give myself a year, I have a chance. If you give me a year, I have a chance.
What are your odds going into that fight for you? Plus 500?
Yeah, I would say plus. Wow. You think that's crazy.
That's not that bad.
I would say like plus 350, plus 500.
There's
like
pro boxing
Robinson.
fights.
Yeah, like Nate Robinson, who's a professional athlete, went in at like, I feel like plus 200, 250.
Yeah.
And got knocked.
Yeah.
I would hammer your money line. I would hammer you.
I appreciate that. I would hope my friends would, hammer my money line.
It would be an electric fight. I would love it.
Ron is walking out of that hurt. The kid's a walking hospital visit.
I get hurt doing anything, so definitely walking out hurt.
He's gonna like sprain his ankle or break his foot or something.
Yeah, I watched Ron break a foot running through first base once. Like the kid's a walking hospital visit.
Oh yeah, very bad bones.
Yeah, it's bad. All right. All right. In other news, let's get out of the sports world here for a second. I watched the new Batman the other night, and did anybody see that movie?
Yeah, I saw it a couple of weeks ago with my girlfriend and her brother.
Zach, did you see it?
I did not. No.
Okay, but obviously you've seen The Dark Knight, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ron, do you think it's even comparable to The Dark Knight?
Comparable? No. And I say that just because Heath Ledger. I don't think anyone is coming close to that acting performance ever in any type of movie like that. Do I think it's one of the better Batman movies I've seen since The Dark Knight? Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the better Batman movies of all time. I just think The Dark Knight is just on its own pedestal, on its own level. I don't think anything can compare to it.
So that was my next question. My next question was, and Zach, you can chime in on this too, because doesn't even have to do with this new Batman. Do you think that The Dark Knight is the best movie of all time, not just superhero movie? Because a lot of people have it like one or two or around there. But what's your take on that?
I mean, it's very good. I mean, it's definitely up there. Sure, in my top 5 for sure. All time might be a little bit dicey. I know like Goodfellas is talked about, The Godfather, like those are all classic movies that it's just hard to trump. I'm interested to see if they come out with another Batman with Robert Pattinson and stuff, because the first Batman movie of the Dark Knight series wasn't as good as the next two. So I'm wondering if they did like a 3-part series and they took their lessons learned and they figured it out, how they could rival it, and maybe we get a crazy good acting performance and we could start comparing it in terms of a series, similar to the way that Batman Begins wasn't as big of a movie at first either. But you look collectively at the series and you're like, these are 3 of the best movies collectively.
Was that first Batman that you're talking about that like recently, was that Robert Pattinson too?
That's the one I'm referring to.
I didn't see that one.
Batman Begins is the first one. That's the one you just watched.
No, I watched The Batman.
With Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to.
Batman.
Sure, yes, The Batman. But
I'm getting confused.
Batman Begins is the first movie of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes.
And so I'm saying the Batman Begins is similar to The Batman.
I got you.
And in the future, if there's a sequel to The Batman, it might start, being collectively viewed as a better series, similar to the way that when The Dark Knight came out, Batman Begins.
Who was the villain in Batman Begins?
It was they had like the mask that you put over. I can't remember. It's like a sandbag. It looked like.
Was it the Riddler?
No, it like made that like you hallucinate and like dizzy and stuff.
I'm not sure.
I'll look it up.
I haven't seen the movie in a while.
I don't even think I've seen it.
Exactly.
I just saw The Dark Knight.
It's Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I couldn't even pronounce that.
Is that it? I don't know.
Okay. Well, whatever. Whatever
it is. It's what's his face?
No, I know. I believe you. It's the guy from Taken.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's in this movie.
I will find you and I will kill you.
I can't believe Liam Neeson's in that movie.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I did not know that either.
Liam Neeson's in almost every movie.
I feel like Liam Neeson plays the same part in every single movie.
He's in a lot of movies.
So, this whole conversation got me so confused on the
Batman. I know. Me too.
I'm so lost.
I feel like I've only seen 2 Batman movies, and one was the one I just watched, and the other one was The Dark Knight. To be honest,
the villain it's Cillian Murphy, and he's the Scarecrow, like Batman villain.
Great actor. He's a great actor.
I don't know. I'm lost.
Cillian Murphy, the name of the villain, or is it the actor?
That's
I'm
the actor.
lost.
Cillian Murphy's the actor, bro.
Okay.
No, it's Ra's al Ghul, the guy.
Okay.
Stupid name for a villain.
All right. No, Cillian Murphy's the
Peaky Blinders, bro.
Peaky Blinders guy. Yes.
Yeah. Tommy Shelby. Tommy
now
Shelby.
We're connecting dots.
Checks out.
Now we're
Checks
connecting dots.
Checks out. All right, let's get out of this Batman talk because this is really, really confusing me.
It's riveting.
It's not. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Besides the fact, Coachella just happened. I have a question for you guys. It's festival season. It's coming up right now. If you were to see someone live at a music festival this summer, outdoor big stage, who would it be? Don't say Kanye West.
I'm saying Kanye West.
I knew you were going to say Kanye West because Kanye West is going to cancel on the festival.
Just like he did when he bought tickets for his tour.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. All right, let me think.
Can I guess yours, Ron?
Yeah, you can guess mine.
Would it be Kendrick Lamar?
No, it wouldn't be Kendrick.
Would it be Kid Cudi?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Omar.
I know. I was going to say that.
Yeah. No, I'm not Kid Cudi fan like Omar. I mean, me, it would probably have to be like my favorite artist for years now. It'd probably have to be Little Durk. I'd have to see Little Durk live.
What?
I mean, he's
I did not
Little
know that.
Durk. Yes, Little Dirk. His album's blowing up. He's finally getting the recognition. Little Dirk, 100%. He's finally getting what he deserves.
Damn. I mean, I like Lil Durk too. I didn't know you were such a diehard fan.
I love Little Dirk, 100%. I would have to see Little Dirk at a festival like that because I think it would just be insane.
Wow, I did not know that. He was on the Full Said podcast. I listened to a little bit of that. He was pretty funny.
Yeah, Little Dirk is he's that guy right now. Him and Little Baby, top 2 out right now.
Yeah, I could agree with Lil Baby. Definitely, he's a beast. All right, Zach, who's your?
I don't have an answer. I know you want me to say a different answer, but I don't have one.
Just Kanye West.
I'm trying to think who else would put on a performance that would match that. Maybe like Drake. I feel like Drake might be good to see live. Like J. Cole. I really don't know.
J. Cole's a good one. J. Cole's a good one too.
Right? He's probably really fun to see live.
Did you see him, Ron? Is that why?
No, it's just J. Cole. I mean, he's one of the, best out.
That's fair. You know,
wait.
Go.
My biggest thing is that I would want to see someone that I know their full music catalog. And to me, like my favorite artists, Kanye West, Amine, like certain people like that. Like I saw Amine live, and it was one of the best shows I've seen because I know his full catalog of music.
Yeah.
And like it was just fun to be in a mosh pit with a bunch of people who were that passionate about a fan.
I mean, there's also just other genres that you could go down. Like,
I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I couldn't think of anyone that I would.
Green Day's playing in Asbury Park this summer. That's pretty exciting for me.
But I have the opportunity to see that. I'm deciding not to go.
No, I know, but I'm saying for me,
15 years ago, it would be awesome to see them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Bullet in the Bible tour. Come on,
Zach, you got to have another artist, bro. Like you have to have another rapper or artist that their full catalog.
I don't. I mean, like if you're talking hits and that like that, I would subconsciously know it's probably Drake. Like something I could go to and like vibe with, but like
not a bad answer either.
But I don't know. I really wouldn't want to see Drake. I don't know. Like I
That's
would,
fair.
obviously, but if you give me one concert, like I'm like looking at my Spotify as I'm talking through this. Like Lil Baby would be great to see, but I don't really care to see Lil Baby.
Yeah, I mean, there's different type of concerts, right? There's like energy type of concerts where you don't really need to know the music; you're just there to have fun. And then there's like a whole performance, like Kanye, and then there's just people that their whole catalog, like you were saying.
Oh, I saw Dua Lipa live. That's one.
Oh, there you go. I knew that was coming.
But I wouldn't want to see her. I guess if I'm at a festival,
yes, you would. You would want to see her again.
Yeah, I mean, at a festival, it'd be cooler because I was up in the bleachers, and then like it's like okay, cool. I'm listening to you perform live, great. But like if you're in like a passionate crowd of people, like
that could be fun.
Great. But I don't know. Chance the Rapper, when he was like relevant, was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yeah, when I went to Firefly with Brian.
Yeah, that was a good one.
One of the best shows. He was phenomenal. But right now, I wouldn't choose him.
All right, we got 5 minutes left. Zach, you got any hypotheticals or?
I don't have any on the top of my mind.
Rizzo, 3 homers last night.
Beast.
Yeah, but
I went to the game.
The two of them were pop flies. At any other stadium, they wouldn't have been home runs. Want to talk about? Let's talk about that, Ron. Why don't we talk about that? Screw the hypothetical.
Well, you got 4 minutes. Send it with the Yankees.
All right, Ron.
Okay.
How far are the Yankees gone this year?
If their offense can produce like we've been producing the past series, I mean, I went to 2 of the 3 games against the Guardians this past weekend. It was electric. I mean, Judge was hitting. Rizzo's a beast. DJ's finally hitting again. If they could keep it up and stay healthy, I could definitely see us winning the World Series, ALCS type deal.
What's
definitely could go that far.
Very funny, what you just said is like, yeah, if we hit and we pitch well and
pitching hasn't been the problem though. Pitching, we've had one of the best rotations in bullpens this year, ERA wise.
One of my favorite quotes at this viral video is that if your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle.
Yeah, it's true. Makes sense.
So
Makes sense.
Yeah. How far do you think the Yankees are going to go? Yeah, if the Yankees hit well and they hit home runs and they.
I mean, you want me to be realistic, or you want me to just be like a number one Yankee fan ever? Because realistically, I mean, we have one of the better divisions in baseball, so like it's going to be very tough to even come out the division. I mean, you got Toronto, who's probably got the best hitting lineup in the league.
They're top 3 team in the league, Toronto.
Oh my God, insane! You got Vladdy, you got Bo, Springer's playing well. I mean, they're just loaded everywhere. They got Matt Chapman from the Oakland Athletics for literally nothing. They just said, take them, please. We got Toronto. I mean, the Rays are always going to be around. If Boston, hopefully Boston just like shits the bed. But I mean, they should still be around.
Who goes further this year, the Mets or the Yankees?
I mean, like,
if the Yankees hit and they drive in runs and they win games, they're going to be better.
Are we talking both teams healthy?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, the Mets have the two best pitchers in the league.
Well, if the Mets get DeGrom back, then I don't think this is you're winning 2 out of 5 games, and all you got to do is win.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they could do the 3-man rotation like the Yankees did in 2009.
Yeah, and Bassett's also filthy.
Yeah, but I'm saying you could have that 3-man rotation with Bassett, DeGrom, Scherzer. I mean, you got the 2 best pitchers in the league on the same team. If you're talking a 7-game series come playoff time, you're getting 4 wins. You're easily getting 4 wins with them 2 on the mound.
All right. Minute 30 left. Is Garrett Cole overrated or underrated?
I think he's a little underrated. Not underrated. I think he's a little overrated. I think coming from a Yankee game, Yankee fan, he's all sticky stuff, if you want to be completely honest. He just hasn't.
Did you see him tapping on his pants the other night to get whatever?
I did, and I was at that game, and I wasn't even, I wasn't really paying attention to what he was doing like that. But I saw videos and stuff. I mean, it's very skeptical. I mean, hopefully he's not all sticky stuff. But if he is, the Yankees are screwed because they paid him a lot of money to be their ace.
Yeah, and he's so like the Yankees.
And
New York's getting to him, I think.
I don't think it's New York. I think all the excuses that he's like the 4-minute delay and opening day is, get out of here. I mean, the cold in Detroit, if it's cold like that, I mean, you play baseball. I mean, you understand when it's cold out, it's tough. But, I mean, he can't make up excuses. You're in New York. You're in the toughest media in the world. Like, you can't make up BS excuses. You got to own it.
Agreed. All right, we got like 20 seconds here. Ron, thank you for joining the podcast. Looking forward to posting it. Hopefully people will listen. Shout out, Ron. What do we say here at the Makeshift Project, Brian?
Makeshift to the moon, and hopefully this does better numbies than the Surhoff podcast.
Yes, sir.
It should. It definitely should.